Hi everyone. Today we're going to examine the back and forth or integrated structure for comparative writing, and this is instead of writing in 2 chunks per paragraph. So we're going to look at shifting between the text 3 to 4 times per paragraph. This will help you to fulfill the through comparison requirement in the criteria for this section of the exam, and also prevent you from lapsing into text response mode when writing. Now, like we did in class, you need to ensure that you're looking at both similarities and differences, starting with one broad idea that has different elements to it that requires unpacking. Then look for the similarities and differences in perspectives, and then similarities and differences in how. You need to find clear examples and short, sharp quotes to assist you in writing a paragraph of around 300 words. So today, for this purpose, our broad idea is misguided leaders, and our chosen perspective is that religious leaders and authorities are misled by blind obedience to flawed principles and faith. My primary how here are the male characters, and in my planning I am making 5 shifts in the paragraph and ensuring that the topic sentence and conclusive sentences are also making a point of comparison. Therefore, my analysis is going to be emerging through comparison, and then note throughout the shifts I maintain my line of argument and focus on developing the key idea of misguidance via faith. So I go from Danforth back to Montpellier to Hale, Montpellier, and back to Hale before concluding on both texts. Let's see what it looks like in a paragraph, beginning with the topic sentence. The horrors of the plague and the witch trials are exacerbated by the damaging impact of leaders misled by blind obedience to flawed principles. Now into the crucible. Danforth's misguided faith in the girl's testimony and his firm belief that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children enables chaotic and dangerous circumstances where the accuser is always holy. So short, sharp quotes. Ignoring Proctor's accurate diagnosis that common vengeance writes the law, Danforth rigidly adheres to the contention of the state, signing death warrants for innocent people, rather than admit the possibility that witches do not exist. Now comparing as I move into Year of Wonders. This dualist mindset is mirrored in Montpellier, who justifies quarantine to the people of Eyam on the basis of his certainty that it is a trial for us, I am sure of it. His view of the plague as an opportunity from God obscures him, similarly to Danforth, from its true explanation as a thing of nature. The tendency to look to supernatural beings in Scripture, as opposed to natural science or psychology, also misleads Hale, whose bright confidence at the possibility of the devil driving the girl's behaviour, and then back to Montpellier, aligns with Montpellier's conviction, as does his eventual loss of faith, so another point of comparison. Yet unlike the rector, who falls into obstinate grief as a broken man who is wrong in everything, Hale attempts to atone for his error, urging Goody Proctor to counsel her husband to lie, as it is no benefit to cleave to faith, where faith brings blood. Now into my conclusion, back to perspectives. Thus, while Brooks suggests that religious leaders must both recognise and resist the temptations of absolutist thinking in order to avoid being misguided, Miller agrees but extends his warning via analogy to political leaders under McCarthyism, who are lured into communal hysteria by their dogmatic ideological faith. I hope you can see the way in which I've explored a broad idea and a perspective by shifting back and forth between the texts multiple times and showing the how.